Welcome, guys. I am just pumped, Brett, about this next drive marketing with good friends, the Caffeys here in South Dakota. Uh, what do you think?
Hey, I'll tell you right now, when my phone rang and it was Lacey Caffee, I'm gonna tell you right now, I knew I was gonna have good conversation. I had no clue she was gonna quiz us about drive marketing. But I'm telling you, when she said, "Tell me more," and I thought, is there any chance we could get her dad on this show and visit about the long list of success and the Calman knowledge of Dave Caffey? I was going to do anything in my power to make this happen.
Well, when you called, I couldn't believe Lacey got Dave talked into it, but boy, I was sure happy being from South Dakota, right up here by the Caffeys. Just a family name that I heard growing up for always raising quality livestock. A family that's always been deeply embedded in the club calf industry and winning steer shows across from ocean to ocean. They're just everywhere. Just the name is synonymous with raising quality cattle. And we're going to hear tonight about that transition that they've kind of made into raising quality seed stock. Welcome, guys. How are we doing tonight?
Thank
Good.
you. We're doing good.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, tell us a little bit, Dave, a little bit about the history and how you came to be right there in Weston Springs, South Dakota.
Oh, well, I guess I grew up there and everything, and actually went to school and actually went to school for carpenter work, but always had my heart in the cattle deal. And so that's kind of how my herd got started. I did carpenter work and had cows on the side till I got enough cows where I could start on my own, and actually started on my own in 1980 full time. But I started AI in 1974 when I went to school with the cows I had, and just with the idea of raising good cattle. And I guess in 76 I happened to raise an Angus calf out of a Coastal Boswell was the name of the bull, actually, I remember. And out of a half-blood Sammy heifer sired by Tony, and Shane Lindsay's dad, Don, was up buying feeder cattle, and my uncle was they were doing cattle together, and he told him that I was AI, and so he wanted to come out and see the calves, and he picked out this calf, and I sold it to him, and Shane showed it and won the Clay County Fair in Spencer, Iowa with him. So that was the first calf I ever sold, and just kind of raised good cattle. And then a few more people started stopping from then on, and then pretty soon we started to actually just breeding for them and stuff, and it's been really good for us over the years. We've been pretty fortunate to raise some that have done well, and people just kept coming, and been doing it ever since then. Sold calves every year since 76 for the show deal, and plus we always raise our own replacements too. So I haven't bought a cow since 1995. So on this cow sale, if anybody wants to know an extended pedigree, the other night I had a guy call, so I looked it up for 10 generations for him. So we can do it. So.
And tell me if I'm wrong, Dave. You're one of the few guys. I think Lacey has in real recent times here changed your mind about a cow or two. But in years past, you haven't done a lot of flushing in your cow herd yet.
Before this year, this is the first year I flushed.
First year, yeah.
Yeah, since Lacey showed that heifer that won Kansas City, that she was an EE heifer. And so that was in 2007, I believe. Yep. Yeah. So I flushed in 2005. So this is the first time I flushed. So we've just, we're big AI people. We do natural heats. We're not into the synchronization deal much, and there's a couple reasons why, but that's just our program. So that's the way we do it anyway. And
and this is something I think is very unique, Corey, in the fact that you guys do not make a habit of selling cows.
Nah, this is our first cow sale, and don't plan on having another one, I guess, for a while. Anyway, we just don't. I just don't. Like we sell. We've gotten so we sell so many heifers in our fall deal that we don't have room to sell cows. I mean, this last fall we sold, I think, 76 heifers in our fall sale. So, I mean, and then plus we keep our own, so we need to maintain our herd. But this year, when it was dry like it was this spring, and where the grass was and stuff, and I mean, we've already bought hay. You know, we'll be all right. But we're just going to sell some cows, and we decided I wanted to sell some good ones. And so we decided I wasn't going to sell any wet twos. So we started with 3-year-olds and picked out of every age group till the letter A. And I didn't want to sell any older than that because I was afraid people would shy away from their age. But, you know, these cows will last a long time. And we calved 2 this year that are 17 years old, had their 15th natural calf, and they both bred back. I mean, I ain't saying all these cows will live till they're 17, but if you take care of them, they'll last a long time. And I think part of the reason is we don't breed anything for a show steer until they've had at least 3 calves. We breed them maternal till then. And I think it helps your longevity on the cow herd. And plus, we don't feed our cows silage. We're a grass and hay outfit. They run the hills in the spring, summer, and fall on grass, and then we feed them hay in the wintertime. So I think that helps our longevity too.
Hey, you hit on a bull that you use there in Maternal Made. Tell us a little bit how that bull has affected your program, and boy, I've been through them calf crops you've had in your pasture sale. The quality of them heifer calves just are astounding.
I actually started. Chad Thompson had bought that bull from Ryman's, and actually I didn't even know he'd bought it. And he called me up and said he had a bull he wanted me to try. He'd give me the semen. And I just told Chad, because I've known Chad forever. And I said, I'll come and look at your bull, but if I like it, I'll buy it and stuff. And I was kind of looking for something different. And he was kind of, you know, he had him out in the pasture. He just got him home from collecting him. And so he's a little wrung out, but yeah, you could sure tell the pieces on him. And I'm not going to say that I just knew automatically he was going to do what he did, but we tried 30 that year back on our Angus Maine cows, and we had really good go. We got 14 heifers out of that. And that summer when we started sorting, we brought everything home after it was done AI and to sort for our sale pasture, and Lacey and Trig were both there helping Mom and I, and we was actually going to put 5 heifers in the sale and only put 3 in because I was just afraid nobody'd heard of him and nobody'd want to buy them heifers. And them 3 heifers averaged a little over 21,000 on that sale. So if I was really smart, I'd put them all in there. But I mean, they made really good cows for us. Some other 11 we kept. You know, I mean, one of them had a high selling steer this year. So, and she's in the cow sale this year. We put her in. Yep.
Boy, that's
Corey. Don't you remember that year though that they had the Caffeys had those maternal maids, and I mean I think there was just like 15 or 18 calves total, but I can tell you they were so good because I tell you, I don't care where you were, you knew Dave Caffey had some high quality maternal maids that year. You remember that? I remember like it was yesterday.
Honestly, it's what put that bull on the map. Honestly, I mean that set and that one heifer. What did she bring, Dave? 47,000.
47,000. Yeah.
I mean that set and that one really propelled that bull to where he's at today.
Yeah.
But,
and that sale for us was one of the best fall sales we've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually had steers that year. S33 had an I believe that Bonham bought, and then Baylor actually showed that steer.
Yeah, that was the same year that we had that MAB steer out of the Northern Improvement cow R13 that Steve actually also bought, that was reserved in Denver for the Grady family. Mm-hmm. It was the same. That was in the same sales. We had that Maternal Made effort. So I mean, it was a sale like we ain't ever had before.
I mean, that was.
We had a lot of traffic that year.
Yeah, you talked about people not coming. They came that year. That was cool. I mean, there was people from everywhere, and that was really cool. And Steve stopped me in Denver and he said, are you staying for the steer show? And I was like, no, I gotta get back. I mean, I'd already been there for a week. Steer show ain't for another week. And he goes, all right, you might want to watch this one. That steer we sold to Grady's, I think that one's pretty good. And I'm like, oh, okay, watch it. And I'm like, oh wow, he must have been like really good. So I mean, that was pretty neat too. That was a really unique year for us.
Yeah, and like a Maternal Made, that first year we used him, we also had a couple bulls that we sold that year, and one of them Robbie Van Ho bought, called Made for You.
Made for You, you bet.
That he sold bulls and bred females.
He still sells heifers high out of that bull.
And the other one was $1 Million Secret that Troy Bloom bought, that he sold that high dollar heifer up to Volek sale. Was out of that. Yeah. That was all out of the same first year.
Dave Geyer bought her for $90,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it was out of that bull we raised, that Maternal Made son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $1 million.
All out of the first calf crop of Maternal Maids.
All out of the first calf crop.
Right. So to say we've been using over 100 straws every year since on Maternal Made. Yeah.
Wow.
And this year, what'd you say we averaged on?
Well, this year we sold 27 Maternal Made heifers in our fall pasture sale, and they averaged a little over 3,300 on them 27 heifers. And honestly, there's some that were show heifers, but most of them people bought for cows. I mean, bought them to make cows out of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think they're great moms.
Yeah, ours are.
I mean, ours are good moms, and they're good uddered. I mean, and they breed back. I mean, they're easy to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot because it's kind of, we had a guy here today who says, you use a lot of broker. Where's all your broker females? And I said, we just sell them. And that's the same with the Maternal Maids,
Yeah, you got to put cattle in your sale you can sell. And I can sell them. So we've been selling them.
And actually, that Gavin that works for Barry, he bought a Maternal Made out of that Y33.
Yeah, full sister of that $47,000 one. And they've been selling Here I Am steers out of her up there at Barry's place. Yeah.
And she paid for herself. Sounds like more than once. So they're pretty happy too. And actually, out of them 3 we sold, Barry bought one of them for a cow and said that one's working real good to Here I Am as well.
Yeah.
So
really,
they like her quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think Maternal Made's place, in my opinion, is, and you guys obviously remember Irish whiskey, but Irish whiskey worked really well for those steer mamas, and people just ate them up. And then we got their cervezas, and they worked like really well for steer mamas. I think Maternal Made is the next like main breed steer mama making sire, I think. And I think that's why we sell so many of them to people to do that with.
Right.
Dave, I have been through your replacement heifers the last few years, and every year that I go through them, a sire that always kind of sticks out is that SAB Bismarck. They're sure the kind of cattle that you gravitate toward in terms of a breeder, and just so soggy and deep. How's that bull affected your program?
Really well. I mean, this is the 11th year we've used him on our heifers, and I guess if you hadn't got it figured out in the 11th year, you probably wouldn't be using him. I'm really an udder guy. I mean, we calve out in the hills. They've just got to get going, and calves doing stuff, and Bismarck's udders is so good. And I think he complements the main breed just unbelievable for us.
Okay.
Yep. We breed all the Maternal Maids for the first calf to Bismarck, and I just think they just really, really work.
Basically, when we're breeding heifers, if they're main or semi-sired, they get bred Bismarck.
Yeah.
And then, but sometimes we go through and I'm like, let's breed a Bismarck. Dad goes, she is a Bismarck. I'm like, I mean, sometimes that works though. But I mean, that's just how much we use that sire.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just impacted our herd a lot.
Yeah. The structure on him, I think, is just really complements the main deal really well. Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys really keep a handle on, them first 2 gestations on them cows, making sure you breed them, pretty easy calving and not give them too much power till that third calf.
Yeah. I mean, we breed them. The first year of heifers, I'm pretty much Angus, and once in a while we'll venture off a little bit. But then the second and third calf, we'll use mains and semis on them. Yeah, and then keep them daughters back or sell bulls. Now that our bull deal is really gotten a lot of interest in our bulls, it's been really good. So
right.
I mean, I'd say that's a Maternal Made changed how we market our cattle.
Yeah.
I mean, he really did. We found out we could market heifers in our sale. Because, I mean, when we had them 5 in there, Dad and I looked at each other, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to be so disappointed if these cattle only bring 2,000. I mean, that's really what we truly thought, because we just hadn't sold cattle like that. And then now we put what did we put, 70 heifers in the sale this year?
Yeah, a few more than that. Yeah.
Pretty close, and sold.
We actually sold every heifer we had in the sale pasture this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, our bull sale, when we put them 3 Maternal Maids on that bull sale, and it was kind of like, people will buy main bulls. We can sell main bulls. And so then we just, there's people like the last few years. I mean, we put 20 some, there's 20 some Maternal Maids in our bull sale last year.
Yeah.
And we sold all of them.
Yeah. And plus the bulls we sold in Nebraska, we sold over 40 Maternal Made bulls last year. So, yeah.
Wow. And you hit on it a minute ago that somebody had called you today asking you about a pedigree, and you went 10 generations back. Would you say that one statement right there is what really drives Caffey Ranch in terms of, we talk about breeding a Maternal Made, and we talk about the ability to raise a set of calves out of a given bull and sell multitudes of that mating or of that sire group. Do you think that 10 generations of maternal mentality is what makes the Caffey Ranch cattle so consistent?
Yeah, I mean, on that particular cow, and she happened to be lot 2 in our sale, but she was four generations was AI sired Angus, and 6 generations was AI sired Maine, and some of them were low percent mains. But that's kind of our program. I mean, we use some Angus in there, then we use some Maine, and I mean, we kind of call it the Caffey version of the Maine Angus. And I mean, that's just what our deal is. I ain't saying that's right or wrong, but that's our deal. And I'm just 100% sold on it. I think them 2 breeds complement each other so well. And I think that Maine Angus cow that we got, or the Angus Maine cow, anybody could take her and breed her to anything, and they will work. I believe that 100%. 100%.
Yeah, there was a guy who called me tonight on a cow in the sale and said, I see that you've used Maternal Made on her a lot, and she's bred back Maternal Made. Like, what else would you breed her to? And I just started naming off bulls, and I think he was just couldn't believe, and I said, I firmly believe she'd work to any of those. I said, you could flush her and leave her open and flush her to a different bull every month. And I said, and I really do believe she'd work. I mean, I think that the versatility of what we do.
I mean, I think, to me, and I'm not criticizing anybody else's deal, but I just think the low main program on these cattle make them so versatile. I really believe that. And we found that out. We started breeding a little more semi on our low percent mains, and the demand we've found on them has been really good on them, like half blood semis with just a little mane in them. Whether they want them, whether the commercial guy wants them or somebody wants them to raise females, to raise show steers or whatever, they just like that little extra look and stuff. And yet they got that Simmental. Some guys want that Simmental in there. And this year we used 100 straws of Simmental back in our herd. Yep.
That's good. You touched on just a minute ago the lot 2 female, and I think that's where we start into these cattle a little bit tonight. Y'all's tag number is E41, and the breed says she's an Angus influence. A sensation daughter out of the B30 net worth, going back to a legend. You look this female up. The first female we talk about, Angus sired, multiple generations, bred to Maternal Made.
Right. And then I think where she gets a little bit of her hidden power is is after the Legend cow, then it's Cerveza, and then after that it's Habanero. And so you got some Maine back in there. And to me, I just call it hidden power because when you look at her, I mean, she's got some muscle shape, but in her genetics, it's there. Mm-hmm. It's there. And plus her femininity and stuff. And I don't know, we've used Sensation more than once, and I really like them. Our Sensation daughters, the udders are just really, really good. They're just like the Bismarcks, and the Sensation's got that nice look, and I just can't say enough that how good I like the Sensation daughters, and this one was the hardest probably one to put in the sale.
He didn't want to put it in. He didn't want to. That B30 cow, which is her dam.
That net worth cow is just.
I mean, that's one of his favorites and my favorites. I mean, she's raised, and actually the bulls out of her we've kept and used for ourselves. Right. And actually the bulls we turned out on these cows afterwards, one of them is out of that B30 cow, a maternal made out of B30. Yeah. You know, so I mean, this cow is a neat.
Yeah. And where she's young like that, I mean, she don't have a lot of history, so we have to talk about the dam. But her calf this year, Nick Weaver bought her heifer in our sale, and I'm sure it's for his bred female sale. Mm-hmm. But he got a really nice heifer. Yeah, really nice heifer.
Wow. Yeah, awesome. You know, and then we transitioned to the lot 4, a B18, as you guys know her, a Maine influence female sired by the Duff Bull New Edition out of M10. And M10 shows to be a fear this. I mean, we're getting in some good stuff right there.
Yeah, her mom's got a lot of power, and actually Lacey don't like this cow, but that's all right. This cow, I mean, she raises them. I mean, her first calf is in the sale. The D18 cow was her first calf,
which is lot 3,
which is lot 3 is out of this cow and stuff. Okay. And this last bull sale, this cow had a maternal made bull that ended up going to Oregon in our bull sale. I mean, she's just a real good producer, and I call it a little bit of the hidden power too, because of that fear of this cow. That fear of this had some power, and then we bred her back to New Edition, and we've got several New Edition daughters. We don't use him as much as Bismarck because we can't use him on heifers. He's just got a little more oomph in him, but they're really good females. Mm-hmm. They're easy fleshing, good uddered, good to be around. Cows you can breed any way you want. And, you know, and this cow here, I think it would do a lot of good. I think you could breed her any way you want. I mean, we bred her Angus and stuff, and then I think you can breed her Sammy or Maine or whatever. I mean, she already had a good maternal made bull, but, you know, this cow I like.
She's one that we joke because she's not my favorite cow because she doesn't look like her daughter lot 3, but what she brings to the table is just unbelievable. And then actually we actually didn't do this on purpose, but then lot 5 would be her granddaughter. We just picked out cows. We went out there. We went into each group. We went to the bulls, went to the replacement pen. We went to the fall sale, and we just picked out cows that we wanted to sell. And we've seen what they were bred to, and we put them all together. And then we started putting paper down. And I'm like, well, for this cow that I quote unquote didn't like, I just wiped out her cow family and then you know, offered it. And then when we pictured them and saw how good they were, I could see, you know, and that's why in the catalog it says like Dave's favorite. I mean, and I see why Dad loved this cow so much. I didn't realize it because I guess I just didn't know, you know. Right. But I guess that's why I picked this cow, or we picked this cow to talk about, because, you know, her picture to me doesn't look like, you know, like lot 2's picture. But the reason she's lot 4 is because so much is what she's brought to the table. And that's why we wanted to talk about her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, this lot 6 cowboy, she's sure one that's bred the way I like them. Out of Sioux Line Motive, out of the A22 Bismarck cow, and then goes back to Y33 Limestone Jupiter cow on the bottom side.
Yeah. See, the Y33 is the cow that raised the $47,000 maternal made.
Well, I was just about to ask you, Dave, why does Y33 sound familiar?
Right.
That number stuck in my head that she had raised something. Yeah, that's right.
And actually, Y33, her granddam, I figured it up for a guy there last night, and she's had 6 maternal made natural calves, and they've totaled $66,500 for us out of that one cow. And
Wow.
and I'm just saying that because, she just always settled AI, just always has something that we can sell. And lot 6 C22's dam A22 is the same way.
Mhm.
Always has something. I mean, they just don't have one that just goes to sale barn. They just don't. And this cow here last spring in our online bull sale there, her broker bull brought 11,000, went to California, and then we started flushing her, and then we flushed her all late spring and early summer till it was time to AI her, and we flushed her broker most of the time. I guess we did flush her maternal made and sold. We've been selling
And bed on red. We flushed her bed on red too.
And stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, this cow, because I like the Sioux Line Modies. We went and found some Sioux Line Modi this year, and we used him again on heifers. He's a bull you can use on heifers too. And actually, these are 3 generations of cows that are out of first calf heifers. A22 was Y33's first calf, and this C22 is actually A22's first calf. So I think this cow has got an unbelievable future ahead of her. I really do.
And she flushes really well.
Yeah.
She probably averages like 8 to 10 embryos, frozen embryos every flush.
Wow.
I mean, we usually get anywhere from like 25 to 30 ovocytes probably each time. We always just do IVF because I've got cows up there too, and then I like to split the semen and share it. So then that's why we do the IVF deal. But
especially when we're using $350 broker semen.
Hey, tell us a little bit about this lot 11 B33, a Duff New Edition daughter, goes back to the X33 GVC Maverick cow, and then she stems back from the OS33 Northern Improvement cow that's done so much.
So this is actually my cow.
She can talk.
Well, she's been a really neat cow. She's one of them cows that Dad said you can't use New Edition on heifers, so you got to go back and use them. Well, that was kind of one of them deals where on X33, I had to wait a couple years before I could use New Edition, and then of course we got lucky and I got this heifer. But I've just always loved this cow since she was little, and so when I decided to kind of flush some cows, I picked her to flush, and she flushes phenomenal. And she's got a really, really nice heifer. I guess she's a cow now, and she's actually gonna have a bull in our bull sale daughter out of her. That's actually a Sundance. Brittany Kramer got me sold on that bull, and that's how I ended up with that heifer. But she's just one that just doesn't ever give you a bad one. She just never, it's just always something we can do. And I've bred her Angus and Simi and Maine. And then I finally bred her. Here I am. Dad's like, this is a club calf cow. You need to breed a club calf. And I'm thinking, God, if I get a heifer, this is going to suck. And she did have a really nice Here I Am steer that we sold in our sale this year. And and I flushed her. I haven't flushed her that many times, but she flushes really well. I've split the dish on her twice. She probably averages, I don't know, like 14 usually every flush. So she's been really good that way. I'm kind of talking myself. I don't want to sell her now, but she's been really good. That S33 cow, her grandma, she is in the sale too. And that cow did a lot for me. Dad let us kids pick out 2 head in our for our FFA project. We could pick out 2 bred heifers. We had to pick them out before they calved. I asked that question, and we got to, what was it, 2,000 a piece? I think it was 2,000 a piece, and you give us a loan for 0% interest, but we really did have to pay you back before we were done with high school. Right. I think that was the deal. And I picked out P36, and S33 was in her belly, and that's up with this cow family. And that's how Dad set us kids up to go with, I mean, so with the history of the ranch, that's how I like we always had one cow before that, but that's how I got to have a lot more cows, was through FFA and through Dad helping us kids out.
It's
So
Caffey Ranch
awesome.
credit right there.
So that's how I ended up with this cow.
Yeah. But she's kind of our program. Like, she's an Angus and her mom's a Maine, and then her grandma's an Angus, and then her great granddam was a Maine. And that's kind of what our program is about, pretty much. We just keep going back and forth like that.
Hey, on that note, Dave, this lot 37 that comes next, genetically, I bet you she was tough to part with. Out of SAV Bismarck, goes back to the C21 Maternal Made cow. That's also in the sale as lot 38, and then goes back to OCC Legend on the bottom side.
Yeah, this would be E24. We actually had her in the fall sale, and she had a Maternal Made heifer that Ben Kelly actually bought from us this year. And yeah, this cow's got a little more power than some of the other ones, but I think that comes from a Maternal Made dam. If you see C21, see her picture in the sale here, you can tell that cow is real stout and stuff. And so she transmitted some of that power to this cow. But I think this cow's got a whale of a future ahead of her. I mean, she got that Bismarck, for the femininity and the udder and everything and the structure and stuff. And then she's got some power from Maternal Made. And I think, you could go a lot of ways with this cow, a lot of ways.
And her granddam's actually an OCC Legend.
Yeah.
That's
then
a
it goes,
T54.
yeah. It goes back to Legend. Yep.
And that was a good sire.
Yeah. We used him. Yep. He was a good sire. Yep.
Right. Well, the presence of this lot 37, I don't care what part of the country you're in, and I don't care what direction you want to go. Yes, this thing is undeniable look that this female has.
Right. Yeah. And actually that heifer, I mean, they say it's line breeding when it works and inbreeding when it don't. But anyway, I mean, she's a Bismarck Maternal Made, but then she had a Maternal Made heifer, and that one, I mean, really was a nice heifer.
She's bred back.
Right.
And
she's actually bred back Maternal Made.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, when it works, why does he keep riding that horse? Isn't that right, Corey?
Right.
That's good. Exactly. And then we go right in here to the to a pair of females, lot 39 and lot 40, I believe, C12 and C50, main influence females, once again, sired by Maternal Made, Rodman Northern Improvement on the dam side, going back to some OCC Legend, and once again, Duff New Edition.
Right. Yeah.
I put these two together to talk about, just because we're both out of Maternal Maids, and we were getting a lot of, which cow do you like better, C12 or C50? And I mean, and they're different, but we just thought maybe we'll just talk about them for a second and what they've done. And
right. I mean, C12, she had her high sound steer. He brought 15,000 this year on a sale, and he went to Texas. But anyway, and we've kept the daughters out of her because we breed them maternal there, and I mean, this cow here, I mean, she's a good mom. I mean, her calf, she knows where a calf is all the time and stuff. I mean, I guess I can't say enough. Our Maternal Maids are good moms. They take care of them. Ours raise them good and everything. They breed good. We've got along really good with Maternal Maids. I mean, this one here has got a good look to her, and I've done that before too. I mean, she raises a really good Here I Am, and then we breed her something else. But anyway, that's just part of the story. But she does really well, and her dam had that Rodman cow had a broker heifer in the sale that sold to Raj Haney, so okay. I mean, really good cow family. I mean, and that's kind of where we raise our own replacements. I guess we talk about the cow family maybe more than people like to hear. I don't know, but I mean, I'm just so big on cow families and stuff because you know where you're at, and then you can figure out where you're going. You can't figure out where you're going if you don't know where you're at. So
I like that.
That's kind of what we've always thought about here anyway.
You
Yeah.
bet. Well, tell us a little bit, guys. This sale's going to be on CCI.Live, and it's going to be a live auction, correct?
Yep. So we wanted when we talked to Steve about how to do this, we wanted to do the idea of like a live auction is awesome. It's just for us to get all that done, get the cows to like a sale barn or something like the Dakota Classic does, or like Griswold's does. Like, I mean, I love that, but physically for us to do that, it's just not possible. And so then Steve brought up going through Christie, still having a live auction, doing the auctioneer thing, all the stuff, but from the comfort of your own lazy boy. I mean, and I just think, in today's world, I mean, that seemed, I think, the best way for us to really do that. And so I guess that's the way we decided to go. You can still, there's pictures and videos of the cows of every lot. You can see them in person. You're more than welcome to come to the ranch.
Yeah,
people can look at them. And then just bid online or bid through a rep, or, I mean, it's just the same as a regular live auction. You just don't have to go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the way some of this stuff is going to work, and people are good with that. I mean, I think that's a little bit why we're here tonight, is to make sure that your story gets told to those guys that, they're just going to sit on their butt and just buy one on the internet or whatever. Hopefully they get in the truck and come visit you, and hopefully they pick up the phone and call you. And for me, it was so refreshing for me to get to listen to you talk, Dave, about 10 generations deep and talk about the maternal side of these things. And I know you said that some people didn't care to hear that, but I think that's what makes you guys special in this business is the ability to go 10 generations back, number one. But no, or even farther. We just talked about an individual heifer there. But number two, to see that genetic consistency that you guys have built in these things. And man, that's so awesome for me. And I know Corey and I have done enough of these deals now that when this comes out, we're going to get a phone call. And Corey, especially being right there close by, he's going to get a phone call and ask about these things. But man, it just makes it so easy to tell your story to somebody else, knowing that you guys are in the cow business first and you're selling them second. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, if somebody's got some questions about them, we love to talk about the cows. I mean, and every one of them's got a story here. So, I mean, if somebody wants to talk about them, ask about them, whatever, I'd be glad to do it.
Right. So who does somebody contact through CCI? Do we just look in the catalog, find a ranch contact, just talk to you? Tell us, Lacey or Dave, either one of you, who do we get a hold of and how?
We did both of us. Our number, you can go to our website or go to CCI.Live. Either way, our phone numbers are there. Call us, text us. Email is really we're not much on email, and so
I don't check it every day.
No, so if you need something, you need to call or text.
Yeah.
I
do text.
Dad does text. He does good. And then we do have some sale consultants listed in there.
One of them was there today.
Yep, John Fortin was there today. Christian Devers has already been through them. Their phone numbers are listed. Chad Foreman has seen them already.
Yeah.
Ben Kelly's planning on coming up. Brad Otto's planning on coming up. I think that, I don't know, there's probably a couple others.
Jason Jensen
coming.
Jensen, Seth Johnson,
Yep.
John Cho.
Yep. I mean, and they're all people that have been around our program for a long time. I mean, we kind of chose people that not only have bought cattle from us, they've seen cattle, they've seen our bulls, they've been around our operation. So they kind of know the cows, I mean, they're the guys that are like, where's this cow at? Or, oh, hey, I bought cattle out of this cow, or out of this cow's dam. So they're guys that, like, if you want a second opinion or a third opinion, I mean, you can call those guys, so that, I mean, that's why we picked or got people like that, we thought. So
the sale is December 12th.
20th.
Or my fault, December 20th. December 20th on CCI.Live.
Yep.
Live auction, Steve Bonham auctioneering. Starts at 6:00 in the evening, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Central time. Yep.
And the cattle are available at the ranch west of Western Springs.
Yep.
Um,
They're in the pasture yet.
Yep, they're in the pasture eating grass, and they're one bale of hay.
Yeah.
There's no silage, there's no bunks.
Yeah.
They're just out there. They get one bale of hay. Well, this is their 5th day. Other than that, they've just been on grass.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'd sure like to thank you guys for being on tonight. Dave, from living in South Dakota as long as I have, your herd, the respect that cattlemen have for that herd of cows, to have you on tonight is very much an honor. So thanks for being on and taking part in the Cattle Drive Live, and keep doing what you guys do.
well, we appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, good luck with your sale. And if we can ever help you again on the drive, we're a phone call away. So
Awesome. Absolutely. We'll be in touch.
That'd be good. Thank you all.